Hi, everybody. This is Beth Demon coming at you once again this Wednesday, as always, on behalf of the San Diego Brewers Guild. This is the Happy Hour at Home Instagram live stream. We are going to be checking in with as always, four wonderful characters in and around San Diego beer. So we are going to kick things off in just a couple of minutes with our first guest, Virginia Morrison, who is one of the co-founders of Second Chance Beer Company. She has been on here before, but we are going to be talking about their new hard seltzer line, Slim Chance. So I'm really looking forward to getting kind of the scoop on that. Then we are going to move over to Jacob Nikos, who is quite a local beer character. He is a beer tender, podcaster, all around silly goose. So we're just going to be seeing what's up with him. Then we're going to bounce a little bit south of the border. We're going to be talking to Colin Corrigan, who is one of the founders and owners of Cerveceria Transpeninsular in Ensenada. And I am so sorry about my absolute terrible accent, but we're going to be checking in with him and his new and upcoming project in Chula Vista, El Cruce 241. So we're going to see what's going on down there. And then we're going to wrap it up by headed all the way to the west of the West Coast with Ocean Beach Brewery. They've gotten a couple of wins at GABF, and we're going to see what's going on there. But before we do anything, we are going to crack a beer. And I know that last week I committed the absolute cardinal sin of not having any local beer on me, but as promised, I did do a pretty humongous beer run. So I was able to stock up, which of course was the day before my refrigerator broke, but thank God for garage beer fridges. So I did a Bonanza beer run, and I picked up one of my absolute favorite styles of beer that is virtually not able to be found anywhere outside of Poland, is a Grodziskie. So a Grodziskie is made with oak smoked wheat malt. Typically it's very dry, very highly carbonated, lightly smoked, very crisp. This one is actually from Modern Times, and I think this is the Modern Times in Portland. Yes. So the Modern Times in Portland, the brewer there gave me a heads up that they were canning a Grodziskie, which if anybody remembers Chuck Alec, who initially started in Ramona, and then they had a tasting room in North Park, they had a Grodziskie that was always on, and it was one of my absolute favorite beers of all time. So when they closed, I basically wanted to die because I couldn't get it anymore. So this is the first Grodziskie that I've seen brewed by a San Diego brewery. Really, even a commercial brewery, like a local independent brewery, and not someplace from Europe. Since then. So it's super low ABV. I think this one was 3.1. Yeah, 3.3, barely over 3%. So I am very appreciative of Modern Times Portland canning this and sending it down our way. So if you haven't ever had it, I did stop by the Modern Times tasting room to pick it up, and they didn't even have it in the front fridge ready to go. They were like, I don't even we just got this. What is this? It's such a weird style. So strongly recommend picking it up. I did end up getting a couple of packs of it because this is just give me a break. 3%. I talk about it all the time. I love the low ABV stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is a smoked beer, so it is going to have that, not super Rausch beer, salami water flavor, but it is a little bit smoked, still very light, still very crisp. I mean, this is basically the perfect thing to drink on a hot ass day like today. So get your Grodziskie on, people, and if you haven't yet, you really don't know what you're missing, because it is arguably the greatest style in the universe. So but in my recent beer journeys, I guess, around San Diego, I did happen to stop by, well, not happened, I planned to visit Puesto, the new Puesto location in Mission Valley, the former Gordon Beer space, where obviously Lager King Doug Hasker has been working for 20 years or whatever, and so Puesto took it over. They finally opened, great time with the pandemic, but we love you anyway. So I was able to try the 4 beers that they have on currently, and the first one is a very traditional Mexican lager, super light, They also have an amber lager, a dark lager, and then for all the hopheads out there, meaning myself included, they have a pale ale with, what was it? It was Simcoe and Citra, and all super, super solid. Doug did tell me that the amber lager is still a bit of a work in progress. It was one that they had brewed on the 3-punk system while they were getting everything sorted out on their like turbo delayed opening. But yeah, I'm pretty psyched on all of them. I haven't actually gone and eaten on site at a place yet, but I have a feeling Puesto might be my first because and I know many other people have been waiting anxiously for Doug's Loggers to be back in action, and they are. So please do go visit. So a couple of bits of news before we bring Virginia from Second Chance and Slim Chance on. I specifically wore my Calabapalooza shirt from last year, the wonderful Karl Strauss Festival that's typically held in North Park, really just to remember fondly the days of beer festivals and events. And since, on behalf of the Brewers Guild, that is typically our biggest economic driver, and we can't really do anything like that. That is why the Brewers Guild put together the Breweries Experiencing Economic Roadblocks Fund, or the Beer Fund. So it is a GoFundMe to help the Brewers Guild continue supporting the local independent San Diego craft beer scene. So please do go to sdbeer.com. That is the Brewers Guild website. And if you are able and willing to help support the initiatives that we are spearheading to help San Diego beer, please do give if you are able to. So as far as events go, the Guild has yet to announce what is going on with this year's Beer Week, but I mean, obviously it will be virtual because duh. So stay tuned for some information coming out about that, because that's typically in the fall and we're kind of almost there. So anyway, in the meantime, the California Craft Beer Summit, which is put together by the California Craft Beer Association up in Sacramento. Just a little, like, promoting myself, I guess. I am on a panel next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. It's a Women in Leadership panel. It will be a virtual panel. So if you are a CCBA member and you are interested in participating, because it is an interactive thing, it's myself, Virginia Morrison, who we are about to talk to, Julia Hertz, who's formerly of the Brewers Association, and Ari Sanders, who is the director of tavern operations at Full Steam in Durham. It's also put together by Leah Bailey, the executive director of the CCBA. So if you are a CCBA member, please do look into joining, because it should be a really phenomenal conversation about women in leadership, and I encourage everybody to take a peek at that. But in the meantime, this is on behalf of the San Diego Brewers Guild. So if you have any questions, please do go to sdbeer.com. If you want to get in touch with us, info@sdbeer.com is the best way to do so. And this is an interactive discussion, so I always encourage people to comment, ask questions here if you'd like to ask me a question, ask whoever I'm talking to a question, anything like that. And we do always try to get to those, time permitting, and depending on if it's a good question or not, because sometimes they're not so good. But anyway, so yeah, let me think. I've got my little notes here. We covered the GoFundMe for the Beer Fund, sdbeer.com. Beer Week, stay tuned. Sign up for CCBA. Yeah, I mean, Jacob, you can't ask yourself about dinosaurs yet, because my son is actually taking a nap right now, and he would be very interested in talking to you about dinosaurs. But 1 second, I need to turn on my fan because it's 8 billion degrees in here. Whew. I haven't gotten solar yet, so I'm being a little, taking it easy on the AC until I've got that. So, okay, let's bring on Virginia, because I'm trying to get my seltzer on after my Grodzitsky, obviously, because let's just be ridiculous, All right, let's take a peek. I love that there's always random people who ask to join this, because I'm not going to add you, but it is hilarious to me every single time. There's always one person every week who just requests, and I'm like, who are you? But let's get Virginia on. We are right on time. Look at our prompt. It is top of the hour. You are ready.
I'm not usually late, and especially not for you, lady.
Same, same. I do feel like every time we get together, we're like extremely punctual, which I personally appreciate. So,
Me too. And
mhm.
cheers to you.
Cheers. Okay. So tell me about what you are drinking because I just had a sample of it like 2 days ago, and I'm very excited about everything that's coming out right now.
So I am drinking Slim Chance, brought to you by Second Chance Beer Company. It's our new hard seltzer line. This particular flavor is watermelon mint, 110 calories, real fruit, transparency in our ingredients, and we're going farm to seltzer.
So talk to me about what farm to seltzer means.
So farm to seltzer for us is going to look like we've established a partnership with the Ecology Center out of San Juan Capistrano, and they also have an Eco Lab, which is a farm on
Mm-hmm.
school property in Encinitas. And so we're going to be partnering with them, obviously, to do a lot of philanthropy because that's what we do at Second Chance, better beer for a better world. But we're also going to source seasonal organic ingredients to be in Slim Chance.
Okay. What made you, as a beer primarily focused brewery, what made you decide to not just try seltzer, but launch a whole line of them?
Well, yeah, it's been about 2.5 years in the making, and there was a lot of thought and consideration. I mean, when we came into the local industry on our own, right, as Second Chance Beer Company, that was back in 2015. By the way, we're about to celebrate 5 years. But it was like back then, beer, innovation in beer, just craft. That was all this business was about, really. You know, there was definitely a ton of creativity and barrels and ingredients and all of that, but like FMBs, or flavored malt beverages as we call them, or this better for you BFH category, was unheard of, right? And I like, we're going to succeed at Second Chance. Like, goal is to leave the brewery to our family, and in order to not just survive but thrive, we have to adapt. I mean, shit, if anything COVID has taught us, you got to pivot. Like, doesn't matter what you have in mind, but you got to deal with what is, and then seeing kind of what is. So we did have this idea a couple of years ago, but true to Marty Mendiola, my husband, and our brewmasters fashion, we were not going to put out anything that we weren't 100% proud of, 110% proud of. And it took many, many batches, a lot of trial and error with the fruits, because it's not easy to get flavor and balance in using real ingredients. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
At one point, Ben Webb, one of our brewers, came out and said he drank White Claw most weekends, and he was finally excited to drink this, and that's all he would drink. And we said, okay, we got it. So
I love that you said it's a challenge to make because I feel like even in just that watermelon mint one, I'm like, you have picked two such delicate flavors. Because if you're not talking about like watermelon extract or like peppermint, like anything artificial, because you know what like watermelon Jolly Ranchers taste like, you know what like a peppermint patty tastes like you are using actual ingredients, making an actual new product, and I'm like, that seems like you can't slap it over with a bunch of like fruit puree like like a strawberry or something like super super flavorful. So I am just like, I tasted it the other day and I was just blown away at how drinkable it was, how the flavors played together, how natural it tasted. Like it was just, I haven't had a like an insane amount of seltzers just because I like beer. And so I, try them here and there. But I was just like, this doesn't taste like a seltzer that I've had before. Straight up. Like it doesn't.
me neither. And I honestly don't drink seltzers. I have, for the purpose of research and development and providing feedback and figuring out how Slim Chance is going to be different, I've tried a lot of seltzer. And so I definitely know, and we knew at one point, we're like, okay, this is what we don't want. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I can smell it coming a mile away. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely real chance. The organic part with seasonal and the partnership with the Ecology Center, that's fairly recent, farm to seltzer. And I'm even more stoked about that because I care what I put in my body. I think a lot of us do. So no artificial. We wanted to get it to 110 calories. We wanted you to feel good about drinking a few of them. 5% alcohol. So as the one you're drinking on the lower end, crushable during the day. And then we also threw in, crafted to be gluten reduced. I mean, we are like hitting on a lot of better for you fronts.
Well, you talked about like the need to pivot, like, coronavirus has shown that we have to do that. And I think breweries who have been able to diversify, whether it be like getting into distribution or just diversifying their output is so crucial even before this for two reasons. Like you were talking about the better for you and the rise in that. And I think that is due in large part to the core beer consumer getting to an age where I'm like, I can't just drink 1,000 calories a day and have it be like not a big deal. Like I literally have to start paying attention to that, as well as new people entering the alcohol beverage space, not just the beer space. And we as an industry have really tapped into that core beer like stereotype consumer, and it's like, okay, there's a finite amount of bearded white dudes. Like we have got to find some more people.
Yeah, and 100%, inclusion has always been at the forefront for Second Chance Beer Company. And one of my greatest joys in life still is when people come into one of our tasting rooms and tell me or one of our family, I don't like craft beer. Mm-hmm. And then need to have that conversation with them. What are you drinking now? What flavors? Does it depend on the time of day? And like basically go through this journey with them to help bridge, right? We can bridge a gap. There's over 100 actual styles of beer. I am 100% guarantee I can find one you'll like. We've got on 19, so my odds are good. Mm-hmm. Now with this, I can meet people where they are, right? Mm-hmm. So if they were thinking craft beer is not for me, either they don't see themselves there, or they think it's like hoity-toity, or they don't feel like it's approachable, or they're just trying to put better ingredients in their body, and it's not always available in craft beer. Mm-hmm. This is our solution.
Yeah, it can be a gateway to beer if they would like for it to be, but it can also, that can be the end, that can be the destination. I mean, you can find the seltzer you like and never go anywhere beyond that. And the more good, organic, like, and not even organic, just good for you or better for you seltzers that are available for people, the better. Like, why not? Literally, why not?
Yeah, and I mean, this is also this is malt based, so it's not 100% sugar. And we did that intentionally because, one, we know malt. And two, it was also because there are a lot of craft beer, let's call them purists, who are interested about this, aka Ben Webb, and they're drinking it. And this is their gateway into.
So it might not be like purely Reinheitsgebot, but we're all hazies aren't either, I guess. So we're getting a little bit squishy with those purity laws. But so you've got watermelon mint out now. Can you share what some of the other like flavors in development are?
Absolutely. So we at our last all family meeting, we R&D'd 6. So the next flavor coming at you in mid-September is going to be peach nectarine.
Oh, so okay, so those are going to be some more like in your face flavors. I'm looking forward to that.
Right. So I'm going to just tell you right now, it's going to be sweeter than this one, but again, real fruit, so it's okay. It might not appeal to everybody, but then the third one we're thinking going to be cucumber lime.
Girl,
that we're going to wrap it all in a nice tidy package of a variety pack.
Yep. Just in time for the holidays?
Just in time for the new year.
That'll work.
Let's get the New Year's resolution on.
Let's get this year over with. Like, let's get to 2021. Let's get that variety pack. Like, I'm feeling it. I love it. So where can people keep up with everything that's going on at Second Chance and Slim Chance?
Oof. We've got all the platforms covered. So obviously go to our website, all of our social channels at Second Chance Beer, Yelp, Google, Map, like Apple. We are fastidious about updating every single platform, but we do have really, we've tried to have like coherent hours, and keep them the same, while also gratefully now we've expanded our hours recently because we have the demand. So in North Park, closed Monday, Tuesday through Friday, open from 5 to 9, Saturday, Sunday, open from 1 to 9, Carmel Mountain, 5 to 9, every day of the week except Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 1 to 9. So we've all outside, super safe. I have like a 90-step checklist for my team that they are fastidiously complying with. So we are being really safe. And if you don't feel comfortable coming out, that's okay. Go pick up some Slim Chance in your favorite shop.
Will do. Well, thank you so much for giving us some insight into that, and be looking out for that in your local bottle shop and in the tasting rooms that she just outlined. So it was great to see you. I am going to smash the hell out of that really soon, but thank you so much. Great to see you.
Okay, great to see you. Bye.
All right. That was Virginia Morrison over at Second Chance, and it looks like we did have a question asked, so let me see. It was just a blank question, so I don't know if you want to just comment or try again, let me know. But in the meantime, we're gonna keep things going with Jacob Nikos, because I know that he is just chomping at the bit. We have talked about having him on since like literally the beginning, so I'm ready. I wish we had more than 10 minutes. Like, can I just say that from the start?
Yeah, for sure. Are you talking about with me?
Yeah, I wish, like,
Am I in the fucking show right now? I'm on the show. Oh my god, I'm finally here. And you have me following fucking Virginia? What are you doing, dude?
I don't know. Well, I got to keep you on your toes. Like, we'll never excel if we don't challenge ourselves. Am I right?
That's fair. That's fair enough. I guess that's true. Hey, look where I'm at, though, dude. This is where I work.
Okay, so did the haze, like, just burn off? Because I was at Coronado, like, literally until, like, 20 minutes before this, and
Yeah.
it was hazy as hell.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful out right now. It's lovely.
Well, I know where you are, but why don't you tell our viewers? Might
Right
not.
now, I'm at an Epic Brewing beer garden over here in beautiful Point Loma, the second location of Epic Brewing family. They are located in Vista normally with their brewery, but we are the satellite location down here in Point Loma.
So let's talk about this. So we've talked for a long time about having you on this show, but you recently mentioned that you wanted to wait until you were officially back in the industry, even though I would say arguably left. But talk to me about what you do, who you are, how you got into beer. Like, give me a quick bio.
That's a long detailed. Okay, so I started as a brewery driver over at Stone Brewing until they figured out there's something smart about me, and then they put me into the national distribution. So for 5 years, I ran national distribution for Stone from about 2008 to almost 2013. Left there, did all of the logistic coordinating over at Green Flash, and then was done there for after about 4 years, and then decided to not give myself an ulcer anymore. And then the good folks, Lewis and Karen, picked me up over at Small Bar, did some bartending over there, Society for 4 years, and now here. So, yeah.
I feel like knowing that you were you got your start at both Stone and Green Flash, like, it kind of makes a lot more sense to me now. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
like,
you get it. Yeah.
it makes sense. I feel like I never put all of those dots together, but
it's like seeing the yin and yang of organization. It's great. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, where else could you have gone? I'm like, dang, well, I guess not like Alpine. Well, wait, what was the time frame? Were you there when the whole Alpine thing went down?
I was there when Alpine got bought. Pat came in and shook my hand and said, how's it going, coworker? I'm like, how you doing, dude? So,
That's yeah. So I have been very vocal about my crush on Pat, and only one.
I call him Dad even before like Daddy was a thing. Like I call him Mom and Dad. Yeah.
I would call him Daddy, but it would be on accident, and I'd be really embarrassed.
That's fair.
But he would definitely be too high to even remember, so it's fine. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah. So it's fine. But okay. So quick question. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about dinosaurs, but
you don't have to. It's fine.
Well, before we dive into like more beer talk, do you think this stems from a very specific conversation that I had earlier this week? Do you think that you have a chance of winning a fight with a ghost or with a full-grown coyote?
I don't know. That's a hard one. A ghost, like, okay, so with a ghost, you have to like actually like physically able to manifest your fist into a ghost. but they're much slower than a coyote because coyotes are fast as fuck. Like I'll kick the shit out of a coyote, but I have to get to him first. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna side with the coyote because I don't think I'll have a medium next to me if I have to fight a ghost. You know what I mean?
You know, it's interesting that you say you would kick them because that is really kind of in the conversation that I had. This was with like a group of people. In the conversation I
Yeah.
had, we all agreed that kicking is the way to go. Like you've got to kick
Yeah.
them. But I actually think that I feel like I have a better chance of kicking a ghost's ass than a full-grown coyote. I'm like, yeah.
And I must say, I love coyotes. I'm stoked they're on the earth. They serve a purpose. But I got a small dog, so I'll kick the shit out of a coyote. So.
Oh, I have a big dog, and I'm still like like they're crazy. Like I'm not trying to mess with them, but I'm like I feel like ghosts. Like I feel like I've got a fighting chance. Like you should believe in yourself. So.
Well, which ghost are you talking about? Like Patrick Swayze or like Casper?
Well, both of those seem like pretty innocuous ghosts. I mean, like Slimer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a hard one. He's sticky, man. He'll go.
I mean, I definitely won't win without some like getting slimed. Like I'm getting slimed,
Yeah.
but I like even if I beat a coyote, like the wound potential of either like infection or just artery loss
That's
of blood,
fair.
the risk is too high.
Yeah, they have rabies. That's true.
They do. Okay, so I would love to keep going, but since this is the Brewers Guild and not just my show,
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit about how I know that like COVID kind of just like fucked it up. It fucked it up for everybody. It fucked it up for you. Talk to me about like kind of what happened to you and like how you are, where you are today, and how you got.
I had 3 jobs and I got laid off and was pissed. Like, and it's not
Yeah.
at like I was just the same as like it's the same confusion. When confusion happens with me, it just turns into like rage.
Yeah.
And so like I'm like, cool. Well, now do I just get pissed off at the government? Like, what's going on? And then after a while, it took me a few days to figure out in my head and get my head wrapped around it, all that stuff. So in that time, last year, one of my good friends told me that whenever I was going through like a little bit of like a mental health type journey, essentially. And so she told me that she's like, when you're down, you find something passionate to create. And so in that downtime, we created the Happy Hill Family Radio program, which you were on, which is a show about sock puppets. And it's, Mr. Rogers meets David Letterman. Now it's like on 2 different platforms. And so in my time of doing that.
It is.
What's that?
It is Mr. Rogers. Like it meets David Letterman. I was like, holy cow, that like makes perfect sense.
That was the whole concept. And I pitched it to my team because I have, 3 other people I create with, 4. And I was just kind of stoned, and I'm like, let's do this. And I'm like, all right, cool. So in that downtime, this started happening and started picking up again. And then Epic called me and said that they want me back. Now, everything is cool about the layers of stuff. And I've heard everyone on the show talk about how hard it is to do this. And it's difficult. It just adds like 5 more steps to your day, especially as a bartender. But it's also necessary. And the way that we do it, it's very regimented here. And so you're going to see a hostess. If you're not wearing a mask, you're going to be told to do it.
Yeah.
All that stuff. The only thing is like I'm fortunate enough to have some customers here that visit here for the water. So they're already coming in with a good vibe. So we don't get a lot of those anti-maskers. I've seen some over in East County. I'm not going to say where I've just been there for like 20 minutes and I've seen 3 guys just pop off on the staff. And you're like, come on, dude. Like, that's the struggle I have right now that I don't think anyone's really talked about is trying to tell the customer in a good way that we're both on an uphill battle, like we're both trying to just get through this. And so once you kind of make them understand that and you kind of, I just come in like with a softer way of doing it with the customer service style and just being like, oh, these damn rules. I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool if people just stop dying though, right? And then it just shuts them right down. And so that's the way, and we actually get a lot of good compliments from it actually. Like when people are staying up and walking around, you got to draw them in. And so anyways, that's what I've learned during the COVID. I mean, it's a few extra steps now that I'm back to work, but I'm just pleased to be back to work because this is what I like to do. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you've been in San Diego beer since 2008. I mean, that's like way longer than most people. Like you've seen some shit. Like you've seen it go to 11.
Yeah, it's fun because like in my age, I've learned just to get softer. Like I used to get like really just like, I'm like, what? Hazy beers, fuck that. Like I was like those guys. And then after a while, I'm just like, whatever, dude, they're making seltzers. Like people are happy. That's kind of all that mattered when we got into this in the first place. It wasn't just about being pirates. It was just about being like having fun. And so as I get softer in age and I see this new generation come in, like I don't know, like the Lexis of the world, like that sort of thing, where they're very passionate and stuff like that. I'm like, keep that fire going, girl. I'm just gonna be over here bartending. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So,
Live and let live.
um,
Love that.
yeah, I
But
mean, going through the layers of time, you get softer. That's for sure.
I love it. I love it. Like I said, I wish we had more time, but where can people keep up with everything that you're doing?
At Jacob Nikos on everything. I'm over obviously on Facebook. And then I'm over here at Epic, speaking for not my employers, Black Lives Matter, and please vote as hard as possible because this man is trying to take your voice. So please do that.
And that's a high note, which I highly agree. We're going to end on that. And I'm probably going to pop down there one of these days because I haven't been down there in way too long. And I need
Come by. Text me when you're coming. I'll let you know when I'm here.
Sick. All right. Thanks for checking in, man.
No worries.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
All right. We're going to keep things going with the folks over at Transpeninsular who, oh my gosh, you are on top of it. You are ready. I love it. On time. We are just rolling. Let's do it. I'm trying to add you. You're good. Just go ahead and accept. I love that you requested to be on it, and I didn't have to request you because that has actually been kind of messing up lately. So I accepted your request, so it should be prompting you to just like say yes. Although I have to be very, I'm understanding because last week I wasn't able to add anybody, so we had to there was definitely some glitches on Instagram's end, but yeah, we're going to talk about everything Baja beer, which is one of my passion topics. I just turned in a piece on Monday about Baja beer for the North American Guild of Beer Writers, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, no, Colin and I spoke right before this, and he is like literally stopped on his way down Baja. So let's try again. I'm gonna try to add you. Oh, there we go. There we go.
What up? How you doing?
Nice to see you. I feel
You
like
too.
we chatted so.
I'm stoked to be on the show. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, of course. Would you mind giving a little intro for those who might not know you who are watching?
Sure. So I'm Colin Corrigan. I'm the owner of Cerveceria Transpeninsular, and from San Diego originally, but my wife and I are the proud owners of the brewery down here in Ensenada, and we're about ready to launch the first ever wholly devoted Baja taproom, wine bar, and kitchen down on the infamous 3rd Avenue street down there with some great food and beer and wine to be ready to rock within a week. And I'm broadcasting down here in Mulegé right now at Doña Meli's. This is a place here in Mulegé. Beautiful people down here. My wife, my brother-in-law and I are on our way down to do a little kegerator install down in Cabo. And we're having a good time, just cruising. So I'm just, thanks to be on the show. Having a margarita, by the way. I'm not drinking beer. I'm drinking one of these.
Hey, no shame in that game whatsoever. You told me it's like 105 down there, and I'm like, you know what? You know what the cure to that is? Tequila.
That's right. That and sparkling water. That's my seltzer right now. So Victoria, that's my seltzer right there. A blend of this and that. We're all set, man.
All right. We're getting a lot of love in the comments. Let's see. Jeff Lozano loves you, loves your energy. People are talking about Transpeninsular's view. San Diego's got nothing on it. Like, you're getting a lot of love right now.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate the San Diego love. I mean, I don't want to go too far deep, but basically a San Diego native, got bit by Carl Strauss early, moved down to Baja 30 years ago in the textile business, and Transpeninsular became more of a focus of bringing a Carl Strauss pizza port venue down to Ensenada. And that passion turned into bringing it back to San Diego to share the love with all the other brewers down there, with Wedland and Fauna and Insurgente and all the boys that are crushing beers. And my once customer, now a partner, said, hey, let's open a tap room in Chula Vista and bring all this back. And that, along with about 20 different wineries and about 7 or 8 different varietals and a chef from Ensenada, El Cruce 241 is within days of opening, right there at the old Harper's Music location. It's going to be insane, Beth. We're going to bring it. We're going to have fun. We're going to cater to the market down there and be an installation down there where people can have some good food, enjoy some beers from Baja. That will be something different, along with Three Punks and Chula Vista Brewery and the boys down there. They're just amazing supporters of what we're doing. Been a long ride construction-wise. It's been kind of a pain in the butt, but that's another conversation for another day. But we're ready. We're ready to rock. 2 floors, 32 taps, nitro, wine on tap, food from Ensenada. Just gonna spring it, send it.
And I mean, like you said, like this has been such a long time in the making, but even a project of this magnitude, I mean, everybody says that the best thing about San Diego is TJ. I mean, it's the largest like bi-national metropolitan area in the world, really. I mean, it's the busiest land crossing. It's how many people, it's such a normal thing for them to go back and forth, but then there's so who just like never do it, and they just don't experience the best of Tijuana or Ensenada or the Valle or anything like that. And so I think that you bringing that to San Diego and showing them how accessible it can be, and they don't have to have a passport, they don't have to have Century, they don't have to go over the border if they don't want to. I mean, that's going to make such a humongous difference, like just popping down to Chula Vista, or if you're already there or whatever. I think it's going to be insane. I'm stoked.
Well, we appreciate it, and the whole scene is basically we're working directly with the wineries, so it's not going to be like going to some of the other places where it sell Baja wine, where it's going to be elevated pricing. We're buying the wine directly from the wineries, and we're offering a service to these guys to promote their brand. So you're not going to find El Lecheto at our place. You're not going to find Montechinique at our place. You're going to find boutique wineries that 5 of the 12 wineries have never even crossed the border. So our whole goal is to promote things all Baja. And being a fronterizo or gringo frijolero, or however you want to look at it, being an American doing business down here, it's time for people to understand how bitchin' it is from the eyes of somebody that has spent time down here, and also wanting to bring some of the beautiful brands that are jumping off down here. Same with the beer. I mean, that's more on the wine side, but the breweries, we're going to have our core staples from Wedland and Insurgente and Fauna and from us. But shortly after that, my business partner and I are establishing a small export company just to bring some of the small breweries over, only for the restaurant. We're not in the distribution business. We're not going to go sprinkling it all over San Diego. Our goal is to bring some of these other guys across so they can be on tap. And so some of the San Diego people that have never even crossed or sketched out or don't have the time to go down, they're going to be able to grab a pint, you know what I mean? And we're pouring all Willie Beckers. We're pouring all 16.9, Imperial pints. We're not gonna shortchange any one of it. We want you guys to enjoy the beer the right way. The guys at Tapcraft and my man Reed, he took over the whole setup. He's the one that's gonna commission the system. So shout out to Reed Brooklyn.
Looks so good. I've seen the pictures he's been posting of the whole system.
Yeah, no, he's the one that sold me the program. He's the one that's gonna commission the system. So I'm proud of that.
Nice.
And again, Chula Vista is amazing. It's a neat scene. Even though I'm not from Chula Vista, I'm from Pacific Beach. I grew up in San Diego. It's nice to be part of a San Diego scene, and more just to bring good beer that we're doing down in Baja to some of the people that are skeptical, don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of us have done great collabs with people like Scott Holst from Alpine, previous from Alpine. Paul Segura is a mentor to me. My brewer, along with some of the other brewers down there, Diana and Ben at Wedland, they're just great guys. They're doing good things. And the Larios brothers from Fauna. It's time for people to see the beer other than just another handle lost in a sea of handles. So real quick, long story short, everyone's going to have 3 to 4 handles per minute. And Ryan Brooks is going to have his beer from South Norte on tap, which is really unique for us because even though he's not brewing his beer in Baja at this moment, he is an integral part of what we're doing down there. And then also Eric and Boston Tom over at Thorn, they did this beautiful Michelada beer, which we're going to launch in South Bay. So I'm proud of that because Eric and I are up to no good right now, and we're gonna have some fun together. So I really want you guys to check it out. El Cruce 241 is the name. Why? The Crossing is the name, El Cruce, and 241 is our address. And
easy.
Yeah, it's easy. And bottom line is, Chula Vista is a great spot, and that store was a music store prior to that, and we're just reviving it. 2 stories, 32 taps, wine, food, and beer from Baja. Simple.
I could literally talk to you about this all day, and I am so sad that we have to go, but I cannot wait to check it out. I know that this has been such a long time coming, so hopefully we'll be able to, meet face to face, masked up and everything, but really soon I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, Beth. Thanks so much for inviting my family and my team on this show. We're excited, and cheers to all the other folks, to all the crew on the show, and we'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna go back to enjoying the blue waters down here in Baja. So you guys take care, all right?
No shame in that.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. That was Colin over at Transpeninsular and the soon-to-be El Cruce 241 in Chula Vista. I have been a big fan of all things Baja beer for a long time, so I am super, super looking forward to more and more San Diegans getting introduced to a taste of the border without having to cross. I mean, God knows you certainly don't have to leave San Diego to find good beer, but they've got some really, really cool things going on down there. So I'm looking forward to having some more Baja neighbors come up into our fair city and enjoying that a little bit more. But as we must continue, we are going to check in with the folks at OB Brewery. We're going to see, oh, you are right there. Oh my gosh, everybody is so tight with the time today. I love it. You guys are crushing it. What's up?
Hey.
Hey!
What are you guys drinking?
I have our Tres Tres Mexican Lager. It's our newest.
Very apropos.
Yeah, I am also drinking the same. And we've got Alyssa here.
Yeah, I have our Dunkel Weizen.
Ooh, there you go.
That's sassy.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick intro of the team, real quick.
I'm Janelle. I'm on the management team, front of house.
All right. Jim Millay, I'm the head brewer here.
And I'm Alyssa Stone, Jim's assistant.
So, speaking in terms of Baja, you guys have got some stuff cooked as well, is that right?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I kind of lost your connection there for a second.
Sure thing. I was just saying, we just wrapped up the things with Colin, talking Baja beer, and if I'm not mistaken, you've got a project cooking as well, is that right?
Yeah, I got a side project with a couple friends down in the Valle de Guadalupe.
Mm-hmm.
At a beautiful winery down in kind of the north end of the valley there. It's probably about 2 hours from OB, so a couple hours from here, driving there. But me and a couple friends, Hannah and Anthony Sylvester, teamed up with Joe Malagone of Vinitos Malagone, which is a Malagone winery down there. And we got a little 3-barrel system we're still putting together. It's got a ways to go before we're full on making beer there, but we're kind of working on putting it together. We're doing our licensing right now and trying to jump through all those legal hoops that aren't all that different from up in the States. Just, it's got its own character down there.
Yeah.
So get that kind of in the works as well. And in the meantime, just trying to keep it cranking up here.
Heck yeah. Well, tell me about how things are going down there or in OB right now.
It's going good. It's going good. I mean, we're lucky. We're fortunate in OB at the brewery here since we've got so much outdoor space. I mean, we've got our roof deck we've had since the beginning when we opened. And so we've already got that as a draw. And then, recently we've opened up next door a patio, which is going to be the future home of Newport Pizza in OB, which is the owner of the brewery also owns Newport Pizza. So when it closed across the street because the lease he was unable to keep the lease going, the landlord wouldn't renew it on him, so we had to find a new spot for the pizza shop. The coffee shop next door was called Jungle Java or Java Jungle. I always confuse
Jungle
Java,
yeah.
which direction the words go. But the coffee shop next door, we kind of got a lease on that property, and now we're going to try to keep the coffee shop going. We're going to eventually have the pizza shop and combine it with the brewery. In the meantime, we've got that whole sort of a nice, beautiful beer garden outside to sit in as well next door. So we got a lot of room for people, which is nice.
So you guys are doing beer, you're going down south, you're doing pizza, you're doing coffee. I mean, you guys are just, I guess the pandemic has slowed you down at all. You guys are full steam ahead.
Well, we did shut down for 2 months, so, I'm sure like I said, it's it's definitely a struggle for everybody, and our sales aren't what they were, but we are fortunate compared to some. We have a good spot. We're able to have people in. We've got good traffic anyway, being an OB.
Yeah.
So we've been pretty fortunate to be able to, keep people working for the most part. At least other than when we did shut down for a while. But so yeah, now we're just trying to keep it up.
Yeah. Are you sending any beers to GABF this year? Can we expect some more medals?
That'd be great. I can never like expect it. You can always hope. There's so many good beers being made in San Diego and around the country. So, it's always a bit of a crapshoot. You never know. If you're lucky enough to catch one, that'd be awesome. Hopefully, San Diego does well. It's always good to see our brethren around here do well. So, if it happens to be us at OB Brewery, we'll obviously be ecstatic and see what happens. But we're definitely submitting beers. We're going to submit our Pale Ale, our Dunkelweizen, our Trace Mexican Lager, and we have our red IPA. We've been calling it our Elevator Red, sort of a hoppy red ale, about 6.7%. There isn't really like a red IPA category, so I'm submitting it this time as an Irish red. I've submitted it in the past as a double red, so we'll see how that goes. But we're submitting those 4 beers.
We
Share our newest addition here. We just started canning our gold pale ale. So this is our newest product. It flew off the shelves, our first batch.
Sweet.
So we're doing really well with that. We're just waiting for another round of cans to come in, but it's a great problem to have that we can't keep it on the shelves.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what are some other beers that people can come either sample on premise or take away right now? What have you got available?
All of our house beer is available to go. So we just recently got a Crowlers. We have our growlers to go, and when they're available, we have 6 packs of our Be Right On Pale Ale.
Sweet.
And right now for the beers, we have the 4 that I just mentioned. We're submitting to GABF. We also have an oatmeal stout on right now. So right now, those are the 5 that we have on. We have the stout on nitrogen as well as CO2. Also, we have a couple beers coming up over the next week or so. I just dry hopped one of our IPAs. We call our Cape May Avenue IPA. It's a Citra Centennial hopped West Coast style IPA. We just dry hopped it today, so it'll probably be on tap maybe about 4 or 5 days or so. Once we can get that moving. And then we will have our cream ale behind that. So just sort of a nice light 5.5% cream ale with a little bit of corn in it. Sort of nice, easygoing, refreshing, summery beer.
Yep.
That'll be coming up about maybe several days or so behind the IPA. And that's what we got right now. And then next brew I got is going to be a dark mild I've made a few times.
Don't even play. Do you know? I have talked so much. It's like Grodzitski's and dark milds are just like the 2 styles of beer that I just like shut the fuck up about. And I'm like, okay, I got my Grodzitsky. Where can I get my dark mild right now?
Well, we'll have it probably be a few weeks because I haven't brewed it yet. I'm going to brew it this weekend, I think. And, in a couple weeks, it will be ready to go.
I am so happy.
Got a fun story behind this beer. We call it Staring at the Clock. It actually originally was a collaboration I did with Amplified Ale Works. Actually wasn't with Amplified Ale Works. Technically, it was with Sebastian Widman at Amplified. He's also a partner with his brother and Ocelot Brewing back in Virginia. I don't know if you know that place at all, but
I do. I'm a Virginia native, so I love the Virginia beer scene. So.
Okay. So a couple or so years ago, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, Sebastian, through Ocelot, he did a bunch of collaboration beers, like a handful of them, and then they poured them all at Pizza Port OB and had like a little party. And so he wanted to do one with me. Sebastian and I homebrewed a dark mild. Oh, lost it there. We homebrewed a dark mild maybe 10 years ago, before either of us worked in the industry as professionals. He came over to my house and we were going to brew a beer. I was like, what do we want to brew? And he was like, I love dark mild. Let's do a dark mild. It's like, all right, cool. So that kind of became the inspiration when he wanted to do this collab. It's like, as professionals now.
Yeah, just do a dark mild.
So I think it'll be the 3rd time I've made it. So it's come out pretty good. So looking forward to having it back.
I am very excited about that. So I will be you and a few keeping a very close eye on your social media to look for the release. But speaking of social media, where can people keep up with really just the dark mild release? What can follow we find out about the Dark Mild and
Why
everything?
don't you take that one?
We have our OB Brewery Instagram page. That's the best place. Anything new happening, we try and post on there. So just stay tuned, and anything new, you'll be finding out on our Instagram or Facebook.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you guys in with us. I'll be seeing you really soon, I guess. Have a great rest of your day. Yeah, cheers for now.
All right.
Yeah,
cheers.
come on in. You'll get a beer on us. We'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. Bye, you guys.
Take care,
Cheers.
bud.
Well, I just have to say that I think this might be the most exciting show I have ever had. We talked to one of my absolute favorite people, Virginia, about their new hard seltzer line, which I think is just bananas awesome. We finally got Jacob Nikos on here after he and I have talked about this for like literally 5 months. We got to talk about punching ghosts, which is just awesome and a fun topic. We got to talk about Baja beer with the folks at Transpeninsular and how they're bringing a bunch, all the flavors of Baja to Chula Vista in like a week. I'm drinking a good Gradzitsky, which is one of my favorite, if not my favorite style. OB is bringing a dark mild. I mean, good God, this has just really made me a very excited, happy person. And I hope that everybody else is as excited as me, mostly about the dark mild. But anyway, that's all that we have. So, I mean, I could monologue about dark milds for the rest of the day, but I will spare you that. Until next week, we do this every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. Please do reach out. Either send us a DM on here if you would like to be a guest on here and speak to me, or info@sdbeer.com is the email address for checking in with the guild. So in the meantime, I highly recommend picking up some Gradzitskis from the Modern Times tasting rooms, and I will be keeping an eye out for that dark mild, and also keep an eye out for all of the hard seltzers coming out of Second Chance as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, checking in, your comments and questions, everything, all your love, everything like that. So I will see everybody next week. Cheers.